At Comics and Comics, we have a segment where we like to give an opinion about something, and if you've ever read any fanboy post on any message board anywhere, you understand why we call this segment, but let's face it. Geeks become geeks because we have to. Girls don't go out with us, we don't get invited to many parties, and we behave horribly at the parties we do get invited to, by awkwardly forcing conversations toward the few things we are capable of talking about, while an uninterested audience tries to figure out how to find the host and ask them why the hell we were invited in the first place. The internet would seem to be the perfect outlet for the geek. The web makes media consumption very, very efficient, and consuming media is what geeks do for a living. In many ways, the marriage between geeks and the internet has been a fruitful and happy one. But let's face it, because of technology in general, and the internet in particular, we're becoming worse geeks with each passing day. The web has afforded geeks the opportunity to become content creators, and to our detriment, we are taking them up on it. Geeks are now spending time shooting videos, recording podcasts, blogging, tweeting, and updating our stat eye. This all takes time, and the time we spend actually doing things is time that could be more wisely spent sitting in front of the television or playing Dungeons and Dragons in our parents' basements. There are two reasons we are trying to be content creators. One is a very good reason, and one is a very bad reason. The very good reason is to correct other people. Misinformation presented by alleged geeks who have only a cursory understanding of the fanboy subject matter they discuss indeed should be put in their place. And you are just the guy to do it. The problem is there's too much of it. You could literally spend all your time correcting Wikipedia entries on Voltron or blogging about these factual errors. And while this is an admirable goal, you would clearly be better off catching up on episodes of Naruto or reading the newest issue of Iron Man. And you would be a better geek for doing so. The very bad reason geeks become online content creators is to try and make something of themselves. If you want to earn money so you can buy more comic books, video games, or toys, you should absolutely go for it. But your parents are right. You do need to get a real job. The market for online geek authorities simply has too long a tail. Too many of us are trying to do it, and there's really no money in it. Geekdom has far more to do with depth of knowledge than breadth. And like the warp core integrity of the Enterprise at the end of Star Trek II, this is being compromised. The internet is allowing for so much content that even the most dedicated of geeks can't keep up with it. We're learning less about more. And with iPhones, Wikipedia, and Google, we are able to fake it better. If something awesome comes out, we can't watch it, read it, or listen to it 50 times like we used to, because we've got to move on and consume the next thing. Or, even worse, waste time blogging about it. In my day, when you got into an argument and bet someone $1 million over what the star date was for the city on the edge of tomorrow, it meant something. And you had to wait, sometimes for months, watching Channel 56 every night at 11 to see who was right. But you did it. And when you were right, you lorded it over the inferior geek with more cockiness than any touchdown dance in history. Geek erudition dick-measuring contests are a good thing. Our vast reservoirs of arcane knowledge are kind of all we have. But, like the spice mines of Kessel, these reservoirs are being depleted. I have no problem with Wikipedia and Google themselves. They are indeed powerful and practical tools for geeks. It's just that we're not using them to search out new content to rigorously explore. Employing Wikipedia to find out every single Gundam TV series ever made so you can watch each season in chronological order is a good geek use of the site. Reading the entry so that you can pretend to be a Gundam expert on some podcast appearance is not. The internet makes it so easy to fake being a geek that even girls are getting away with it. And not just average-looking girls either. Hot girls who cosplay at conventions are now getting away with giving themselves the title of geek. Look, honey, having a body to pull off a Slave Leia costume doesn't make you a geek. I know when it comes to hot girls, we shouldn't give a shit, but we should. And the reason we don't test these so-called geek girls and ask them how many tentacles a Dianoga has is because we no longer know ourselves. We are evolving into a world of geeks where the Emperor has no clothes. And that is a very chilling thought if you picture Palpatine. I know it seems like I'm being sanctimonious here, and I am. Because, let's face it, in the time it took me to write, record, upload, and share this monologue, I could have made a dent in my haven't read pile, watched half a dozen episodes of the Iron Man anime, downloaded an unsubtitled torrent of the new Ultraman Zero movie, and earned 10,000 experience points. But that doesn't mean you have to make the same mistake. So instead of posting a long-winded blog entry about how the name of the Star Trek episode is actually The City on the Edge of Forever, log off and go read some comic books.